Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. This is Jyoti here, welcoming you all for today's episode. This is final and last episode of our on-campus series, and today we are talking about on-campus UK North and UCLAN. For that, we have some guests with us. We have Linda. She is Center Director, UK North on campus. Hi, Linda. And then we have Shamim with us. He is International Recruitment Manager, UCLAN. And then we have Pranesh Kumar Sinha. He is South Asia Manager on campus. At the end of this session, we will also be taking some question and answer from the participants. So if anyone has any questions related to the university, please feel free to ask all of your questions in the chat box. We will answer all of your questions at the end of this session. And now I'll play a small video to give you an insight of UCLAN or UK North. So let me just know if you all can see my screen. Dinesh, is my screen visible?
Yes, I can see the screen, but the video is not on.
Okay, I'll play. I'll play in a minute.
I think you need to unmute the video uh, in there.
My name's Linda. My role is to ensure that all students achieve their academic potential. Together with our academic team and the personal tutor, I will be speaking to students throughout the year to help and support their academic journey.
During induction week and when students arrive, we have a whole programme organised. There are campus tours. We'll also take students around the city centre so they can see what's available. And there are lots of opportunities to meet their classmates, meet their teachers and get familiar with the wider campus around the university as well. When students arrive, the most important thing that we need to see when we're enrolling them is their documents that are on their CAS statements. Unfortunately, we can't accept copies, so that means we need to see their IELTS certificate and their school certificate exactly as they're listed on their CAS.
Here at On Campus, we really care about our students. They have weekly tutorial sessions, they have a fantastic social programme that enables them to get really involved with the university and it helps them to integrate with university life.
We have a great support network here for our students. Any challenges are identified early on. We have an open door policy, so students can actually come to us if they identify a challenge. So I think the fact that we're so in tune with our students and we support their expectations as well as having high expectations of our own mean that we're there for our students and we're able to guide and support them right through their academic journey.
Okay, so now I request Shamim, you will be taking over. You will be starting.
Absolutely fine. Jyoti, give me a second. Let me just share my screen. Okay, let's go. Is that okay, Jyoti? Can everybody see? That's all you're saying?
Yes.
Is the presentation?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Very first thing I'd like to say to everybody here is a very warm welcome to this session, and I'd like to sort of give my thanks to our colleagues at Uni Experts, but also our colleagues at On Campus North for giving us the opportunity to present UCLAN to the audience this morning or this afternoon. Okay, so why would any of your students, any of the students watching this session want to come to UCLAN? Well, let me give you some quick pointers that I'd like to share. The very first thing to say is that a lot of people think that, you know, universities such as Oxford and Cambridge are established and old, but you'll be surprised to see how many of the universities in the UK have been teaching students for for many years, and ours dates back to the 1800s as a seat of learning. But that doesn't mean that we have an old campus or very rundown buildings. We've got a very modern, state-of-the-art campus that, in fact, this year has seen a very significant transformation, which we're all very proud of. We are also known as a quality institution. The Center for World University Rankings has put us in the top 7% in the world. So that's something, again, we're very proud of. And we do have a very broad, very wide range of programs on offer for students, which I'm going to talk about in just a minute. But in addition, we also have very strong academics. Our academic staff have got extensive industry experience, which they bring into the classroom. And that's important because when you're being taught a particular subject, whether it's undergraduate or postgraduate level, having the relevance to industry, knowing how that's going to be used in the place of work is absolutely critical. We also offer work placements for most of our courses, whether that's undergraduate or postgraduate, and that again is extremely important, especially once you've finished your education and you start going for jobs. You can actually talk to your employers and say, look, I've had some experience while I've been studying at the University of Central Lancashire. And the university also offers a great deal of support, not just support for your well-being, but also your academic support. So if you're studying a program and you're not entirely sure about the transition from your home country, in this case in India, the type of education system that you have in India is probably going to be a little bit different to what we have here in the UK, and that transition can be a little bit difficult sometimes. So we are very aware of that and have support systems in place to make sure that your transition is as smooth as it can be. And ultimately, what we want is for our students to get the best possible results that they can at the end of their program. Also, I've highlighted here some websites that I'd love for you guys to have a look at, because I can't list all of our courses. I am going to talk about that in a sec, but if you go onto our website, you will find, you type in pretty much anything, I'm fairly confident that something's going to come up as a potential course for you, whether that be at undergraduate or postgraduate level. But also you can go on to our news page to find out exactly what's going on at UCLAN. There is a lot happening at the moment. So again, I can't list all of those things in this presentation. If you go and have a look, you'll be able to find out a little bit more. You can also find out about our history, where the university started and where it's come to at the moment, all on our website in the About Us page. And of course, what's very important for a lot of students is to understand what life is actually going to be like in the UK at the University of Central Lancashire. You can certainly find out more about that from our student experience pages on the website. But I want to talk a little bit more about what we can offer, what coming to us actually means. And I think first of all, it means value for money. And the reason I say that is because what we offer is a significant amount of scholarships, okay? And I've worked in this sector for a very long time, and I've not seen a university that's as generous as UCLAN when it comes to the scholarship range. It is possible that if you're on an undergraduate course, you could get up to £12,000 worth of scholarships to help you study here with us. And the scholarships are applied to every single year. So whatever scholarships you're eligible for, it's not just for the first year to get you here, but actually will continue in each year of your study with us. And of course, all of our scholarships and the fees and the finance are available on our website. Our fee structure, I believe, is very competitive. I've worked at a number of British universities, and I can tell you that the UCLAN fee structure is a competitive one. And then coupled with the scholarships that we offer, definitely this is going to be a very affordable option for you. What I'd also like to talk about is stuff like what we have, ample value for money accommodation very close to all of our campuses. I think our accommodation fees start from about £78 a week, and I'm sure the colleagues at Uni Experts will be able to work out what that is annually for you and what that means in terms of the amount of money that you're actually going to need to live, not just for the tuition. We obviously have, sports facilities on campus. We're a very large university, so we have all of the sports and the entertainment facilities that you would expect a modern British university to have, and all of those are available to you. Whether you're studying with us directly or at On Campus UK North, these facilities are available to you regardless, because you are a UCLAN student the moment you arrive on campus, whether that be on the foundation program or directly with us at the university. We do have a very active social environment, no matter which campus you go to in the end. We're very keen to make our students feel comfortable. And you know what? There's a reason why we want to do that. We know that if you as students on our campus feel comfortable, you're not homesick, you've made friends, you're enjoying your experience, the chances are that your exam results are going to be better, you're going to be more attentive in class, and at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. We want to make sure that you get that first-class degree from UCLAN and not struggle while you're here with us. And the other thing that we have as a university, we have some very strong links with businesses and industry. That's evident through our placement structure, but also, for our graduates, we're always looking to make sure that their future is tied in to what they're doing at the university. It's not separated from the future careers or the future jobs that you guys might be looking for. I want to give you a little sense of the kind of courses that we offer at the university. I've already mentioned that we've got a very wide range, a very wide portfolio of courses, but I wanted to just pinpoint a few for your benefit. The first thing to say in that is that, as I've said already a couple of times, the course range is very broad. We do everything from medicine to management, or whether it's aviation to archaeology. I'm trying to give you a sense that it doesn't matter what subject area you're interested in. I would urge you to have a look on our website, type in whatever you feel that you want to study and see what comes up as a close match, because I'm relatively confident that something will come up that's very close to what you want to study. And that's the point that I'm trying to make here, that you will find something to suit you at UCLAN. And it is important to also understand that we have a huge range of programs that are tied in with our colleagues at On Campus UK North. That if you come to do a foundation program, there's a huge range of degrees that you can actually articulate into. So you're not restricted in terms of because you don't have the entry criteria necessarily that, oh, I can't study that. The chances are you probably can. Some of the more popular ones, and I had a look yesterday at what we have at the moment as our most popular programs. Unsurprisingly, medicine is our most popular program. We offer the full MBBS program, which is tied into the General Medical Council. So not only do you do your degree with us, your MBBS, you automatically then become a General Medical Council registered doctor, which means that you can live and work in the UK going forward. But we have a new program, which is Aviation Pilot program. That's a degree, 3-year degree program that gives you a commercial pilot's license at the end of that program. So you graduate with the degree and your commercial pilot's license, which again, has been very popular with students that are looking to get into becoming a pilot. But there's also subjects like, pharmacy is very popular at UCLAN. There's a lot of students that are looking to get into pharmacy, and we offer the MPharm program. But also motorsports engineering. For those engineers out there, everybody, who is interested in things like Formula One and other types of motorsports are looking to us to see whether they can get onto the motorsports engineering program. It's an obvious point, but I want to make it that these programs that I've listed here are very competitive. We have limited spaces, and it's really the best students that we're looking for on these courses. So don't be disheartened if you don't get an offer for these programs. You can look to see what foundation program is available at On Campus UK North, but also you might find a similar subject that isn't as competitive that you might be able to apply to. We also have obviously our MBA program, the Masters of Business Administration. We have our MSc Public Health is very popular at the moment as well. I think not just because of the pandemic, but generally speaking, you know, there's a lot of students around the world that are looking to go into public health because there are a lot of countries that are investing in their national health service. And this is quite an interesting subject to do if you're looking for a strategic role in your country's health administration. We also have things like, you know, international business management. And again, guys, I can't list all of our courses on here, but the business school has a lot of different courses, but the international business management, unsurprisingly, is quite popular at UCLAN as well. And the last one that I've put on there, which again is quite an interesting course, is the MSc Renewable Energy Engineering. That seems to be a very popular program at the moment as well. Again, guys, this is a very, very small snapshot of the courses that we do. And I absolutely urge you to go on our website and have a look to see what it is that would suit you. I want to just also talk a little bit about our locations. Obviously, we're based in the UK, but it's important to mention where in the UK we are. We're based, our main campus, in a place called Preston, which, as you can see from this map, is in the northwest of the UK. So we've got, you know, 3 campuses in the UK. All of them are based in the northwest. We have Preston. Next to Preston, in the blue dot, is Burnley, which is just north of Manchester. And a little bit further up in the country is a place called West Lakes. And West Lakes will be important if you are thinking about studying medicine with us here at UCLAN. Because a lot of our medical students, after I think it's the 2nd year, they transfer up to West Lakes. And the campus there is quite rural, it's quite quiet, it gives our students the opportunity to concentrate on their studies, but it's extremely picturesque. It's a very beautiful part of the country to study in. We're about 2.5 hours from London to, by train, and it's relatively easy to get to London. But we're about an hour away from Manchester. What we would expect is students from India flying into Manchester and then getting a train either to Preston or to Burnley, or using our pickup service to help you get to campus. The other point that I want to mention is that the northwest of the UK, particularly Preston and Burnley, are extremely multicultural. So students coming from India, no matter which part of India you're from, and no matter what your ethnic or religious background is, that you're probably going to feel very at home in Preston, Burnley, and to maybe a certain extent West Lakes, which again, like I said, is quite a rural place. So whether you're looking for a temple, you're looking for a mosque or a church from your denomination, or you're looking for particular type of food, other resident British people from your country, you're going to find that with us here at UCLAN. And like I've mentioned as well, you know, we have both urban and rural settings in our campuses at the university. I think, oh no, I've got one more slide to show you. I just wanted to give you a sense of what the 3 campuses are like. The Preston campus, like I said, is our main campus. It's our, sort of where most of our students are. 38,000 students and staff at our Preston campus, which is, by any standards here in the UK, a large university. The Burnley campus is only about 20 miles away from Preston. And again, it's a thriving, very large town. And it's a great opportunity for students that are looking for, that kind of multicultural experience. And as I've mentioned to you, our West Lakes campus is rather relaxed. As I've said here, it's a refreshing change of lifestyle because it's in such a beautiful setting. I think, guys, that's it from me. I'm not going to say much more. I'm keen to, sort of let Linda talk. And I think in the question and answers, hopefully we can actually start to tease out some of the queries and points that you guys want to make. So that's it from me, folks. Over to you, Jyoti. Was that Pranesh trying to get Pranesh,
Hi.
are you there? You're there.
Yes, I'm there. I'm very much there, Shamim. Thanks for the presentation. I would like Linda to take over now with the on campus UK North. Thank you so much.
Okay, no problem at all. Thanks ever so much for that, Shamim. What have you left for me to talk about? That was brilliant. Lots of information there. So if you just bear with me, and I will now share my screen with you. Where are we? Here we are. So please do let me know when you can see my screen. Can we see it?
Not at the moment, Linda.
Okay.
No?
No.
No.
Let's try again. No, it did say it was sharing. So.
Looks good.
Now it's visible.
Is that me,
Brilliant,
Linda?
thank you. So I'll just put it on presentation mode. She says quite confidently. Right, here we go. Can we all see it now? Okay.
Yes, we can.
Brilliant, thank you. So yes, again, from me, thanks ever so much for inviting me along. And I hope that I'm able to give you a good, clear picture of On Campus UK North and our very close working relationship with UCLAN. So let me start by saying the first question the students should be asking themselves: where are you now? Where are you now? And where do you want to be? Because it's when you decide where you are now and where you want to be that UK North steps in to help you with your future career plans. And primarily, where do you want to be in 5 years? Because you know that's 12 months with us and maybe 3 years, possibly 5 years or more with UCLAN or any other university in your chosen profession. So once you've thought about that, your 5 and 10 year plan, why would you choose On Campus UK North? Well, we are a one-to-many. We do have our main university partner, and that of course is UCLAN. And I'm not going to go on and sell UCLAN and tell you all the wonderful things about UCLAN, because Sham has just done that very, very well. But of course, here at UK North, we ride on the back of that. And all our students are guaranteed a place at UCLAN if they complete and pass our foundation programme. The only caveat to that is if an interview is required. But if the students pass our foundation programme, they are guaranteed that place. Nevertheless, we do support all our students to make applications to alternative universities via UCAS. And for those of you that are not familiar with UCAS, that's of course the University and Colleges Admission Service. And it is through UCAS that all students make applications to UK universities. So we do offer that support, but we are based on the UCLAN campus. So a little bit about how we support our students. And this starts in term 1 in preparing for those university applications. And we have a full-time HE progression coordinator in centre to assist and guide all our students. And she will sit down a one-to-one with all students to assess your academic strengths, the interests, and what your learning journey looks like to you as a student. So there'll be a registration with UCAS, and we have an account with UCAS, and we encourage all our students to use us to register with UCAS. We do not make a charge. This is a free service, and we are then able to monitor the applications and work with the students. Every week there's a timetabled UCAS workshop, and this is to sit down with the students to assess what is it you're looking for in a university. Is location important to you? Are you looking for a rural location? Do you want to be in the middle of a city or maybe a town? Is there a specific mode of delivery that you're looking for that particular universities excel in? Is it the societies and clubs that they offer and those extracurricular activities that's important to you? And we sit down with the students and advise them on which universities they would be best suited to for their future career goals. And then at the end of term 1, the application is submitted to UCLAS. UCLAS, where's UCLAS? UCAS. And of course we have a deadline of the 15th of Jan for applications. However, we do know that we have a January intake, and there is a later deadline for the students that don't join us until January. So you can see that the support for UCAS is there throughout all 3 terms throughout the academic year. Continually, the student has that support to ensure they've got a first-class application and they're applying to the universities to which they are best suited. Okay, so sorry, is that a question? I think no. So here we can see some of the universities making offers to UK North students, and those universities highlighted in red are the top universities in the UK. And each year, these are all the Russell Group universities, so we can clearly see the universities that respect the quality and integrity of the UK North Foundation programmes. They're making offers to our students. I will repeat at this point that students do not have to apply through UCAS. If they're going to progress through to UCLAN and the courses they have available suit them, then there's no application process needed. We send all the information through to them, and if the student passes the course, then that place is guaranteed. But we can see, as I say, the Russell Group universities that are making offers to our students. So some of the reasons why you might consider UK North, and indeed why the students may stay here in Preston with UCLAN. So Sham has already covered some of these, but the cost of living, well, it's 22% less than London, and rent is a massive 71% less than London. Now, for any self-financing student, that one feature alone, the cost of living, is a big attraction. And then we've got the safety of the city. Many students coming over, it's the first time they've travelled abroad on their own. It's certainly the first time they've lived alone. And Preston is continually voted one of the safest cities in the UK. And Preston, safest, cleanest and most enjoyable places for a night out. And one of the things I would say on the back of a comment that Sham made, that when our students join UK North, they don't just become a member of the university community. They belong to UK North, they belong to UCLAN, but most importantly, they become a member of the Preston community. We're multicultural, we're very diverse, and international students are welcomed, and our local community welcomes the students in, and therefore the students are expected to become a member of that community. The majority of students are going to be in Preston for 4 years, and then some of you 5 and 7 years. You're going to be living here for that amount of time. It's most important that you become a member of the local community, and you're certainly welcomed in that way. So we are just 10 minutes from the train station. We are right in the heart of UCLAN campus. Now, although Sham said it's 2.5 hours to London, it's probably included the walk to the train station. So the actual train journey is 2 hours, and there's a train direct into Manchester that's 30 minutes, and you're just 2 hours from Scotland. Beautiful, beautiful part of the UK. And of course, you've got the seaside, 30 minutes to Blackpool. And we often take our students to Blackpool. And we're the only centre that offers a 6-year MBBS route from our life science programme. And this is in conjunction with UCLAN and, of course, 1 or 2 of our other partner universities. And no other on-campus centre can offer that to students. So, the pathways available. So on our UFP, we have business, humanities, engineering, life sciences, and medicine. And Sham has already given you a good indication of the progression routes available to students. And these progression routes are available to on-campus UK North students. And I urge you to go onto our webpage and use Pranesh to identify the vast array of progression routes available to our students. And I would highlight again that the links that we have with local businesses that support those progression routes at UCLAN. Now, I'm a northern girl, and I've had many, many years in local industry before I came into education. And I know of the links that are there. We've got BAE Systems, we've got the local hospitals, the local NHS. The links for our students are phenomenal. And even just recently, BAE Systems won another global contract. So the opportunities for our students are vast. And then we come to, I just want to mention with our medicine, that unlike the vast majority of medical schools, our students do not need the UCAT or the BMAT to progress through to our university partners. They do not need it. And sometimes our students feel the extra pressure from the UCAT or the BMAT. They're coming abroad for the first time to study, and that's just another concern or stress they sometimes feel. Well, we take that away because our partners don't need it. And also, there are no caps, no international caps for the medicine progression routes. Our partners do not put caps, unlike some of the other UK universities. And then finally, we've got our master's programme. Now, this foundation programme is labelled business. However, what I would say is that for any student that wants to go on and study a postgraduate route, this is not just for business progression routes. We label it business because it can go through to any progression route in any business, because the modules you study, there's a research project. And of course, students are encouraged to research an area of their chosen career route. So if it's, sorry? No. So if it's, let's say, publishing, then research publishing. If it's something to do with medicine, research something within the field of medicine. So the research project can relate to any business. There is a postgraduate skills module that again is useful for all progression routes within the postgraduate. And there's also a business environment. How do you fit into this? And also a strategic module. And everybody needs to understand strategy and strategic planning. So I spoke a little bit about what we can offer, but why come to Preston? Why choose Preston as potentially your home for the next 5 years or so? Well, we are in the heart of Preston and within the heart of the Northwest. And we're fortunate that we have been part of the £200 million transformation that UCLAN have invested over the last 4 years. And I started here at On Campus well before this master plan started. And I've had the privilege of seeing this building and coming to its conclusion, and it's fantastic. And we have the centre of that picture there is the Engineering Innovation Centre, and that's where our students study. That's where our engineers work on the racing team and the racing cars that Sham was talking about. There's the £1 million Oasis Multi-Faith Centre. So whatever your faith, there is time and place to sit down, and we have regular visits from the local imam, the rabbis, the priests, the vicars, and just spiritual leaders where they sit down and chat and ensure that our students are feeling relaxed. Lots of new green spaces within Preston, and also, again, as Sham mentioned, lots and lots of social facilities that the on-campus students access from day one. They're not just an on-campus student, they are a UCLAN student, and they have a UCLAN ID badge. It's got the UCLAN logo on it. They're a UCLAN student. Now, at On Campus UK North, one of our main strengths is the pastoral support for our students. And we truly believe that students should not be studying all the time. It's not good. And students work very hard, but they need the time for that new information to filter through. They need time away from the books, and they need to process that new information. And the way we do that is by putting in a very robust social life for our students. Now, don't get me wrong, we're not encouraging students to be forever out there and away from the books, but this supports the learning. So we'll take them on the trips to Blackpool. We can see one there with the Blackpool Tower. We have a great sports day where tutors and students get involved. We're not far from the Lake District where UCLAN's West Lakes campus is based. We'll go off on the water. We all know that sailing is very relaxing. We're always looking for ways to help our students relax and calm down. And we do this in conjunction with UCLAN on many occasions. The mentoring system, the buddy system, the induction process, it's all hand in hand with UCLAN. So we take advantage of the vast resources that UCLAN have there on offer to us and to our students. And one of the trips that we really missed last year from lockdown was the Manchester Christmas markets, and it's a great experience for international students. It's cold, it's dark, we're all wrapped up, and there's lots and lots of sparkling lights, and the atmosphere is brilliant, and it's a great cultural visit as well as a very enjoyable social visit. So that will be on again this year and every year hence. So just a few photographs of the wonderful changes at UCLAN as part of that master plan. And one thing I love telling students is the library. There is a fabulously resourced library at UCLAN that is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 364 days a year. It is closed on just one day, and that's Christmas Day. And if students use the library as somewhere to get away from their own accommodation, our student union on Christmas Day arrange social gatherings for students that are still here in the centre over the Christmas period. And there's a very big Christmas lunch arranged, and all students are invited to that Christmas lunch if they are still here in Preston. And you can also see an example of the accommodation that's available. And again, we work with UCLAN. All the accommodation is on campus, 24-hour security, and we have 24/7 security and support for all our under 18 students. So there's no reason why any students should feel uncomfortable. And I believe you me, it doesn't take them that long to suddenly realise, actually, I am okay, and off they go. They don't tend to use that 24/7 support. It's just enough knowing that it's there for them. Lots and lots of sporting activities and sporting clubs available through UCLAN. So whatever the sporting interests of the students, there's something there for them. You can see down there our ladies football team. Yes, we have a gents football team, but we have a ladies too that do very, very well. We have the cricket and the field and track events, and the general sports day, and we can see the cycling there. And for students who do want to cycle around campus, we have secure lockups for bikes, and you're entitled to free bike care once a year. We'll service your bike for you through UCLAN. So lots of support there, extracurricular for our students. Just a few more of the heritage pictures around the UK, and that around Preston, sorry, and that picture in the middle is the main pedestrianised street through Preston, and some of the other festivities that we have in and around the town. So finally, I'm going to finish with saying, you're here to learn, and we will support that learning. And we do it in a variety of ways, personalised to our students. So you come in and you will go out at the end of your journey with a university degree. And on that note, I'm happy to take any questions. Thank you.
Hi, Linda. Many thanks for the excellent presentation. We could take up any questions if we have in the chat box at the moment. If we have.
Yeah, Pranesh, we have some questions.
Presentation, just a minute. I just want to tell something to Linda. Hi, Linda. This is Muddit here, and I'm the director for University Partnership for Uni Expert.
Hello.
And I just want to a quick 1 minute. Yeah, hi, madam. Your presentation was really awesome. I would really like to appreciate the way you have explained slowly, clearly, and crystal. I'm seriously mesmerized, and I could have gone for hours to listen this presentation. I'm seriously overwhelmed. I think the youngster and the other people who are watching it out there, it's a great learning for all of them. How to give a presentation, the way you were, showing actions from your arms, and then the way you were talking slowly, and it was really very, very, very nice presentation. I don't even have words to appreciate it. Thanks a lot, Linda. Thanks a lot for the session.
You're very, very welcome, and I'm glad that you found it interesting to listen to. Thank you.
seriously interesting. I'm really sorry I'm sitting in my home, so couldn't switch on my camera. Otherwise, I would have liked to come. And this was really good. So before the Q&A start, I thought I should convey my message to you. Thanks, Linda.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, so we will move on to questions now. We have some questions. First one, how much PTE score is accepted?
Linda, do you want to take that one?
Can
Yes,
you
please.
repeat the question for me, please?
How much PTE score is accepted?
In actual fact, Pranesh.
Yes, please. I'll take up that question, Linda, but let's Shamim answer this from UCLAN point of view first.
The easiest way to answer that question is dependent on what program you're thinking about studying. That it's difficult to kind of just say off the top of my head. So I think again, our website will sort of clearly state what the English language requirement is. I think our website probably talks more about the IELTS, but we should have an equivalent for the PTE as well.
Okay.
Sorry,
Thanks,
can I just interject there? That in actual fact, UCLAN and our university partners accept the on-campus test of English too. Yep. So that's been approved by many universities. So the student comes into on campus, and for our UFP, it's a minimum 4.5 IELTS. Now, to progress through to a standard undergraduate program with UCLAN, you have to achieve an IELTS level 6. Now, although it's an IELTS level 6, our on-campus test of English, we call it OCTO, it matches the IELTS equivalency. That said, there are some progression routes at UCLAN and other universities that demand a 6.5, and that's for, I think MPharm might be, nursing is 6.5 definitely, and for medicine it's 7, and it's 7 in all elements. Now, if students already have an IELTS and it's got a 2-year life left on it, then that is enough for them to come to us and progress through to UCLAN. But if a student comes through to us and they haven't got the required IELTS or equivalency to progress through to the university, then they will sit and progress through our OCTO that the university supports. I hope that explained it a little bit.
Yeah, Linda, that's a good explanation. One thing that needs to be absolutely crystal clear is that OCTOs are offered at the time of progression. When you plan to start to study with on-campus foundations, so let's say if a student plans to begin with undergraduate foundation program at on-campus UK North, we need 4.5 with no elements less than 4, a UKVI IELTS, or a PT academic UKVI 43 with no elements less than 43. That's exactly the scores needed for any student planning to start a UFP program. Coming down to medics foundation, what we need are IELTS UKVI 6 with no elements less than 6, and PT academic UKVI 50 with no elements less than 50. Similarly, when it comes down to pre-masters, for 2 terms, which is 6 months pre-masters, we would need 5.5 with no elements less than 5 IELTS UKVI. And for the 3 terms, we need 5 with no elements less than 4.5. PT academic UKVI needed would be 43 with no elements less than 43. So it depends which program the student has opted for, and we demand, or we need rather, English proficiency certificate, which is IELTS UKVI, PT academic UKVI. Many a times a question is being asked that why do you ask for an IELTS UKVI or a PT academic UKVI? Please note, it's a UKVI requirement. These are self-secure English language tests, and that's the reason we need it for foundation purposes.
Can
Yes,
I
please.
just also add, guys? Can I just say here as well that you know, as speaking as a English teacher, you know, I would say one thing, that I've spent a lot of time in India and I've dealt with a lot of Indian students, and you know what, compared to a lot of countries around the world, you know, Indian students, their level of English is very high, because obviously your national language is English. But please be aware that in the UK you will come across sort of lecturers, academics that are from all different parts of the UK. All right, they have various different accents, and I've spoken to Indian students when they've arrived to the UK, telling me that they found it difficult. Okay, so just be careful, guys, that whilst your command of English is very strong anyway, make sure that you are, you know, proficient in English, not just getting what I'm saying. Obviously, as Pranesh has mentioned or Linda mentioned, you know, there are minimum requirements that every university or every, you know, college like an on-campus center will ask for. But you as an individual student, in order for you to be able to perform very, very well in your program, you need to have that proficiency. Okay, that, you know, your exams or your assignments or even your vivas, you'll be doing a lot of presentations, so you'll be expected to speak in English fluently and at an academic level, not just with the level that you speak with your friends. So one of the things that I always say, and I've said this recently when Linda's students first joined the first batch of the September students, make friends with students that are not from your country, because then you have no choice but to speak in English. Okay, if you're talking to a Chinese student, you can't talk to that Chinese student in Hindi or Urdu or, you know, Karnataka or whatever it is, that whatever language you're speaking, you have no choice but to speak in English. That's going to help develop your language skills and make it even better, so that when the academic is reading your assignment, they can see sophistication in your language. I think this is a very important point.
Thanks, Shami. Yeah, makes sense. Yes, please.
Next question is, any credibility interview taken?
Shami, would you like to
Yeah,
question first?
I think with credibility interviews, it depends on what you're asking there. You know, is it Ankit, the student? Basically, credibility interviews may be taken by the UKVI, so the Visa and Immigration Department. Before you're given your visa, they may ask for a credibility interview. And again, guys, this is a point. I've been in this business for the last 22 years, and I've been in recruitment. I can tell you, when the immigration department is asking you to attend a credibility interview, it is your responsibility to make sure you understand your program, not just the superficial name of the program or just a little bit about, okay, it's a 4-year program or a 3-year program. We want you to think about which modules you're going to do and how you are going to face those modules. Because imagine this, I'm an immigration officer, I'm taking your interview. I don't know anything about UCLAN, I don't know anything about OnCampus UK North. I'm going to go on the website, and on the website it's going to tell me, in your engineering program you have thermodynamics as a module. So tell me a little bit about thermodynamics. Now, you can't talk about thermodynamics, then all of a sudden your credibility goes down. But as an engineering student who is interested in getting your engineering degree, surely you will have read and understood and thought about the modules that you're going to be studying. So when the immigration guy is asking you the questions, you can very quickly give the answers straight away. And also things like, you know, why did you want to study at UCLAN, for example? If you turn around and say, oh, because it's the best university in the UK, this is wrong. This is a wrong answer, you know, and the credibility goes down. Listen to all the things that Linda has spoken about very eloquently today, and the stuff that I've highlighted. Go on our website, do some research on this subject of which university you're choosing. Also ask yourself, as Linda mentioned, it's a very important point, compared to London, why didn't you go and study in London? But you decided to study in Preston. Know why you wanted to do that. And I think there is absolutely no shame in saying to the immigration officer, It's 71% cheaper for my rents in Preston. That's why I've decided to study in Preston. This is a perfectly reasonable, point to make to the immigration person. So that's the issue on credibility interviews. As Linda mentioned that, and I mentioned, I think in my presentation, that some subjects, no, actually Linda mentioned this, some subjects that we offer, at UCLAN, particularly medicine, or it could be dentistry, it could be, I think even in pharmacy, the professional registration courses, they may ask you for an interview, an academic interview. And in that interview, what they're looking for is your passion for that subject, that you know something, little bit about that. So you want to study medicine, right? They're not going to ask you about physiology or anatomy or, toxicology or anything like that. What they're going to ask you is, why do you want to be a doctor? What passion is driving you to want to be a doctor? To say it's a fantastic career, financial security, I don't think that's wrong, but that can't be the main reason. Or because it's a good status, that can't be a good reason. It has to be your humanity that comes out in that, sort of conversation. These are important points that you need to think about. So separate in your mind the immigration credibility interview and any academic interview that you might have to take at the university. And it doesn't matter, it's not just UCLAN, it can be any university in the country that you're thinking about going to. That's it really, that's all I wanted to say on that.
So in terms of, if you look into region as India, we need students to do compliance interviews with us. That's even before the UKVI interviews the student. Now, to give you a very simple, precise and straight answer, we give 2 opportunities to students on credibility interview. So there are 2 chances that we offer to students. And one important point, again from credibility point of view, is that any student who has 2 years or less than 2 years gap, we give waive off on compliance interviews, but anything more than 2 years, we would definitely offer compliance interview to the student. Yeah, so that's from on-campus point of view. If we can have the next question, please.
Which state boards are accepted for application to university?
Which state boards are accepted for applications to university? So I think Sumi is trying to ask a question. Are we accepting applications from all states in India or not? Am I correct? Is that the question? Shamim, does UCLAN have anything in exception in terms of recruiting students from all regions in India? Any exceptional states where we are not recruiting from?
As far as I'm aware, we don't. Okay, we are fair to all students across India. But it boils down to that individual student. Do you know what I mean? We're never going to discriminate from one region or the other, and we accept all boards. We will give everybody a fair opportunity to apply to the university. It always boils down to the individual application, the individual student, and the way they've presented their papers to our colleagues at Uni Experts. And I'm fairly confident that our colleagues at Uni Experts, will be able to give that first level of feedback on whether or not the application is suitable for the university. I'm fairly confident of that. But to answer the question, we accept all boards. Can I also take that next question? Actually, how much the student has to pay for CAS? Sorry, Jyoti, I've taken the question.
Sure.
I can see the question.
No.
And the reason why I want to address that is because this year, from this September onwards, so for anybody wanting to come in January or wanting to come in September next year, the deposit scheme at the university has changed. So we are expecting a 50% tuition fee deposit, with the exception of medicine. Obviously, the medical tuition fee is a lot higher than everything else. So with medicine, we haven't yet got the absolute definitive decision from the medical school what the deposit has to be. But for all other programs, our fees are roughly around about £14,000 a year. So we would expect about £7,000 to be given as a deposit. Now, with students coming to on campus, I don't know, and Pranesh or Linda, if you want to mention about what your deposit scheme is, and also Linda, if you mention about students that are on the on-campus program, when they transfer to us as a university, is there any deposit that needs to be paid?
Okay.
Okay. Over to Pranesh, because I absolutely do not get involved with any of the financial side of things. But I would just like to go back to that point about the state boards that are accepted. If a student is progressing through from UK North to UCLAN, it is our foundation programme that the university looks at. They do not look at the state boards that the student has studied with. So there's no concern about state boards from on-campus students progressing.
Yes, so that is from progression point of view, but I need to be absolutely crystal clear on the call that we do have restrictions in Punjab and Haryana, which is a temporary restriction, and let's see when compliance could waive off those states. But at the moment, we have recruitments suspended on temporary basis from these two states. So on campus won't be recruiting from Punjab and Haryana, except that yes, all states are absolutely fine. Again, for CAS, what we do is we charge almost half of the fee, so approximately 50% of the course fees being charged for CAS. And coming to Shamim's point, when students progress from on campus UK North to UCLAN, they should be ready to pay what UCLAN has mentioned on the CAS. So it goes as per UCLAN's terms and conditions. They would exactly follow what the UCLAN CAS would mention in terms of deposits. There's a last question on on scholarships. So one thing that I would really like to highlight is that we offer big scholarships for on-campus students joining UFPs and MFPs with us, which is up to £2,500. Medics Foundation's scholarships could go up till £3,000 or even £3,000 plus, depending on the profile of the student. We also have some impressive progression scholarships for UK North students specifically progressing to UCLAN. So in terms of scholarships, we are quite attractive both when students start with on campus UK North and then when they are progressing to UCLAN. Shamim, anything on scholarships that you would like to put across? I think you said that UCLAN is the finest universities in terms of scholarships.
We do offer a substantial amount of scholarships, like you say, for the right profile of student, you know, and I know that the on-campus to UCLAN scholarship is very generous as well. So I think it's very difficult on a call like this to be specific. That's the issue, and hence, you know, I highlighted those web pages. That if you spend a few minutes going through the UCLAN website, you can see very clearly we have a fees and scholarships page. And you can then build your scholarship, you know, what you're likely to get. What we're working on as a university right now to try and make life easier for our potential students is actually a scholarship calculator. It's not ready yet, but we are working on that in the background. And I'm hoping that we can launch that at some point where you can go on our website, go onto that page, and then put in your profile, and it will tell you approximately what you're likely to get. But obviously, you know, I hope everybody understands that any scholarship that the university offers will be in your offer letter, no matter what the scholarship that you think you might get, or whatever scholarship you think the calculator might give you. These are just approximations. That on the offer letter you will have your tuition fee and very clearly whatever your scholarship is. But it is something that the university is keen to promote. That, you know, there are a lot of other universities out there that are not offering the kind of scholarships that we're offering. And in some cases with UCLAN direct students, you're looking at £4,000 per year for undergraduate students that they're getting as a maximum scholarship, which is extremely generous, I think. With specifically the doctoral degree, with the research degrees, with any PhDs at the university, it is a very bespoke discussion, because you need to reach out and speak to the professors in the department that you are wanting, or in the subject area that you're wanting to do a PhD. And that is really, you know, those contact details are available online, and our professors, our research academics are always keen to hear from, you know, potential PhD students. If the university is very interested in your area of research, it's possible that the university, it's a decision they're going to make on an individual basis as to whether they're going to give you a scholarship, give you a stipend. There's many different ways a university can encourage a research, you know, position, a doctoral degree. But it is it's impossible for me to sit here and say to you what that's going to look like. There is something that I've come across over the years. Some students from overseas, they want to do a PhD as if it was an undergraduate degree, and it's not that. A PhD has to be from passion. It has to be something that you want to become an expert in, and you are driven to want to do that PhD. So you need to be able to construct an argument to the academic at the university to convince them that your area of research is important to that university and can benefit that university. If you're able to do that, then actually you could find a lot of facilities coming your way.
Thanks, Shamin. I can see Lakshmipati typing a question. Let's take up that question. Okay, yeah. So all done. Yeah, all done. Thank you, Jyoti. Thanks, Shamin. Thanks, Linda. Thanks, Modit. Thanks to Uni Experts for conducting this webinar on UCLAN and UK North. Many thanks to all. Have a great day. And it was really an engaging session. Thanks for all these questions. All the best and take care.
Thank you
Thanks,
so much.
everybody.
I'd just like to also
Thank you,
thank
everyone. Thank you.
the on-campus team and also the Uni Experts team on behalf of the University of Central Lancashire. Thanks very much for the opportunity, guys. Really appreciate that.
Okay,
Thank
take care. Just bye.
Bye.
Bye.